getting. So, okay. So I hope that you are fine recording the session. You know that we are recording our event and put this event on our YouTube channel. During the meeting, we will, okay, let's try. We will add in the chat the references to the different channels. You know that we are a multimedia community. We are on meetup.com. That is our favorite platform. We are on YouTube, and we are also on LinkedIn with the brand new group page. Again, we will share the link in the chat during the event. This is the last event of November, as I mentioned, but we will have a new event that I just booked, that I put in the schedule on the 9th of December, where there will be a book premiere from Valerio Zanini, that is one of our, let me say, frequent speakers that has, let me say, released a book. I don't know what is the right terms, but well, has published a book just on the 15th of November. So it's a brand new book, and this will be the first presentation here in UK in our event. So if you want to register, the attendance is already open for this event in December. As you know, if you are a member of Digital Transformation in London or Lean Agile Delivery Coaching Network, we are making combined event. So register where you are. As said, we are going to record this session, so you can find this session with all the previous one in our YouTube channel. And also Sergiy anticipated that he is going to share the deck, the PDF of the slides that he is presenting today. So do not get crazy and follow the content and the topic. Last but not least, about the questions. Tonight's presentation will be organized in 3 different sessions, and in the middle between the 2 sessions, there will be a place for answering to questions. You are absolutely invited to write your question in the chat. And in this session for the Q&A, I will ask you to unmute, and preferably if you can turn on your camera when you're doing the question. In this way, when the recording will happen, I mean, I will see a face and not just a gray area instead together with the voice. And during the presentation, I really would like to ask you to stay on mute just to reduce the noises for Sergiy. And I will tell you where you can unmute and talk. If for any reason I had to mute you, apologies in advance, but it's just to, again, to reduce the disturbance for Sergiy. That's it. I think that my job is done. Ula, do we want to add something or?
No, I just posted 2 links on the chat to a LinkedIn group and the YouTube channel, so you already have it.
Thank you very much. Sergiy, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Corrado. Thank you, Ula. Thank you, everybody, to join this meetup. It's very interesting to me, for me to hear your feedbacks, your questions, and to have this discussion. I'll share my screen. Oh, yes, it's this one. So yes, you can see it. So good evening, everyone. Today's topic is Product Team Booster, but let's start by you, not by me, by you. And may I ask you your role and how do you evaluate the productivity of your team? One moment, I'll share the I'll share another screen this one, and I'll send you a link by chat. Done. So if you can join menti.com, I sent a link by chat, and answer or write what is your role. And it will really help me to better adjust our discussion to your area of interests. So feel free to write, and size is pro rata to number of answers. So 5, 7, Agile coach, Scrum Master, IT technology lead, head of delivery, project manager, IT manager. Who else is there? Tech team lead, head of delivery, tech team lead. Okay, so it's mainly IT guys and girls, mainly IT team. And the second question, if I can ask you, how efficiently, how you can assess your team performance? Do you think they can work more efficiently without increasing the workload? Are they at the top already? Yes, we can see. It's just your perception, your personal perception. Thank you. Okay, great. It's mainly okay, and we can be better, or we should be better. Sometimes no idea. Okay, thank you very much. It's great, and I hope I will be able to answer to your needs to help you to better evaluate. One moment, I'll be back to the topic. I can go back. One moment. Okay. Yes, I'm here. So very briefly about me. My name is Sergiy. I started my professional journey as a Java developer a long time ago. 11 years ago, I discovered Scrum framework, and since that, I worked as a Scrum Master and Agile coach. I enjoy working with small organizations or departments, and I really believe that in today's digital world, a group of small, load-dependent, self-organized teams is more efficient than a huge organizations. And this presentation, I designed it for Scrum Masters, Agile Coach, Product Owners, Business Owners, team members. And I expect that by the end, it will provide you with an additional structured approach how we can do best with our existing teams. And it may give you some ideas for next improvement steps, or help your teams to self-assess their current maturity level and how they can be better. At the same time, let's be realistic. Each team is different, and there is no silver bullet. That this approach I applied for a few teams, and it works well, but it's not in silver bullet. Maybe for your team it may be a little bit different. So let's start by a global presentation in a nutshell. Just for simplicity, I'll use a figurative analogy within archery art. Let's imagine that you invited me to boost your digital product creation. and digital product creation is an archery art. So how it will work? We'll start with an initial check. It's the first step. What is your, I will ask you, what is your target? What are you willing to do to hit? Do you need a Super Bowl or maybe a simple wooden, like here, a simple wooden slideshow is enough for you, and you are not willing to make a big effort to hit harder targets? So first step, it's an initial step, initial check. It's very important to avoid frustration and disappointment from the both sides. If it's this check is okay, and you really want to work hard and to be a great archer, in this case, I will start by checking what is the starting point and putting in all necessary tools, basic skills and movements. It's about software development lifecycle process and agile mindset. By the end of this stage, by the end of the first stage, you will be moving well. You have a minimum required equipment, and sometimes you will be able to hit some targets. The key point of this phase is mystery of all basic tools and processes and knowing how to manipulate them. So it's basics. After that, we'll go to the second step. Second step is we hit the business targets. So not only hitting, but really hit the business target. Your task is to consistently hit the target from a long distance. From a business point of view, this means that each deployed functionality impacts the business. And we know we can measure it, is it impacting or not. But it's not the end. The next maturity level is working in the real world. We have multiple moving targets, priorities constantly changing, competitors are trying to hit your goals, new challenges are emerging all the time. This phase corresponds to a stable increase of your business impact. So what I will present is this approach based on initial check and 3 steps. If it's okay, let's dive into each phase deeper. And I will invite you to ask questions at the end of each phase. And by the end, we'll have a question-answer phase. So let's go. So initial check. As I mentioned, we start with them. The idea, I really like this quote from Albert Einstein. So the idea is that the purpose of transformation, transformation will affect the entire organization. And this change will be heavy enough in reality, let's be honest. Before that, we want to check if it's a real need or just an additional buzzword for the company. Is the organization ready for some discomfort to achieve a result? Is the sponsor willing to challenge his work style and mindset? Unfortunately, sometimes we hear a lot of good words from colleagues, from management, but we feel a lack of willingness to change. Experience shows that if an organization doesn't eager to improve change itself, then everything is useless. So this is the introduction and how we can do such a check. Initial point, basic tool is this formula from 80s from Kathleen Denmeier. It shows if change is possible. Can we manage it or it will not be possible at all? I don't know if you know this formula. D is dissatisfaction, vision, and first concrete steps. And multiplication of all these have to be greater than resistance. The idea is to check, to start by D. If D is almost zero, and you feel that there are no, that company is not ready to really work with the R, so resistance, then the chances of profound change are very small. I recommend asking the following question. Why does the organization want to boost this product or this team? To sponsors, to middle management, to team members, and just listen to the answer. Are they in the same direction globally? Are they specific, or it's a list of buzzwords? Who will support this change from the top management at critical moment? Is the answer based on a real need or just a kind of agile is fun? Just ask this and other related open questions and listen to the answers. You will discover a lot of things. It's a basic, and how we are doing it. In my toolbox, I have two main tools for such discussion. The first tool is from Lean Change Management. Lean Change Management, this one. It's a great approach, and I strongly recommend you to look on it before starting any change. It's an example of change Kanban. As Corrado mentioned, we'll share the presentation with you, so you will have all these links. So Lean Change Management describes several simple and powerful tools and ideas to support the change. The second tool that I like very much is an agile exploration game from Mathieu Dietrich. And this is a physical game, and he produced also a digital version for remote discussion. And it's an easier option to start these clarifications and alignment. So more or less the same idea, but really easy. It's a 1 hour workshop to start the understanding. So it was an initial check before starting a transformation. I don't know, do we have a question? If no question for the moment.
No question, no question.
Okay, let's go to the next step, and if you have question, we'll discuss by then. Okay, so as I mentioned it was check, and now the first phase of proposed booster is the global check of development of your basic required skills. On the one hand, development lifecycle process. The idea is easy. Don't start to walk and to run before you can walk. We are starting from the beginning. SDLC, software development lifecycle, and agile processes. Our target is to ensure that our team gains trust in ourselves and from the entire organization. We're expecting that the global workflow is quite optimized and the team owns the product. It's the ownership. We reduce it negative stress and conflicts. Reduce it, not hidden, but reducing. But at the same time, challenge are still one of the main team's drivers. Positive stress, challenges, it's a good thing for the team. Healthy mindset, it's very important. One of the checker is the team members are happy to work in this team. Global checker is are you good on this phase or not? Is to see if team members are happy. Are they happy to come on Monday? Are they proud of them on Friday? And are other people from the organization want to join this team? And how can we achieve this stage, this level of maturity? So what I suggest, Kanban-based flow. So Kanban approach, it's a good starting point. It doesn't conflict with the Scrum or other frameworks, agile frameworks. It's just an additional layer for the team. Often it's a real life example. Here, just for example, Scrum sprint, classical Scrum, is from here until there. But we increasing the view of the team, what is going before the sprint and what is going after the sprint. So often team manage well sprint, this part, but larger view is sometimes missing. Preparation for a next sprint or how is going after sprint finished. I will not go deeper in this topic, but we can. It's a really powerful tool, and its key point it's transparency. Transparency of the team for the global organization and for itself team. The second important point is product owner and BA's activity. Keywords is simplicity. I know that often business asks to provide everything at once. We have to explain them the incremental and iterative approach. In general, business is very open, and if we explain them and keep our word. For example, we have several fast and simple serious games to explain such approach to the business guys. Probably you know morning routine game. Additional point is a long and mid-term vision. One of the common issues that I observed in many companies, they have a long-term vision, half-year level, and they plan the sprint, just 2-4 weeks vision, and a huge gap on the mid-term vision. As a result, we have a quick and dirty solutions, unfortunately. So it's really product owners, it's a huge effort for product owner. And the third point, we discussed here more about software development lifecycle, but the third point is soft skills, classical work for a Scrum Master. Self-organization, proactivity, positive attitude, transparency, focus, etc., etc. The key point of the first level is never stopping the improvement and keep a global view on the product development lifecycle. All of these tools are very well described in multiple sources. Just to mention a few of them, it's probably you know Mountain Goat Software, Roman Pichler for Product Owner Business Analyst, Craftsmanship Manifest, Testing Manifest, etc. So in the first level, we are focusing on improvement of this of our team. How we delivering? We delivering high quality on the fast and sustainable mode. It was the first level. Okay, now we can switch if our team is working well. We are delivering the quality. It's working well. We are confident on what we are doing. In this case, I suggest we are ready to go to the next level, to the second level. What is it? As I mentioned, is increasing business impact. The second level is about control if we really hit the target, and about our ability to adjust the solution to increase the result. We're delivering something, but then we have to adjust a little bit on the left, little bit on the top or bottom, etc. The idea is to start each feature by discussing, by clarification, why we want to deliver this functionality and how we'll measure the success. This quote is really great because a measurement of the success, it's not a simple question. In most of the cases, when I started such a discussion with the business, I heard, oh, our business is specific, it's a special case, it's impossible to measure the business benefit per feature in our case, no way. And if the organization agreed to continue the discussion, always, each time we were able to find how we can quantify the impact. In general, from my personal experience, it takes at least half year to change the mindset. And by the end, it was so natural for all the teams, that it was the first clarified topic for each feature. Why? Because sometimes some features are not so useful. Sometimes by discussing this point, we discover that, yes, I don't like it, but if we clarifying, we want to do these functionalities because we have X customers with the profile A, and we believe that at least quarter of them will apply this functionality, and it will generate at least such additional number of transactions for our platform. And just imagine how much money may be saved just by avoiding useless development and maintenance. Moreover, business target of the features will be explained to the delivery team, so they focus their activities on the same priority. Business analyst, UX, user experience expert, developers, testers, all will understand why we are doing it, not just specification and let's implement it without understanding why. As a result, it simplified some technical internal discussions. For example, what is more important in the beginning, execution time or volume of provided data. Technical implementation will become much easier. So it's a nice description, but how we implement it in the reality? In my case, first of all, our discussion, this topic. Prerequisites for beginning of work is to clarify business impact and how we'll measure it. In fact, this clarification impacted all our internal processes. On the one hand, it added a few additional tasks for the team. On the other hand, it eliminated several disagreements and helped us to avoid low important development and testing. as a result, new activity and role appeared in our team. It was data analyst, and it was a full-time task. Don't underestimate the volume of work for this activity. It's not so easy to find a simple chart to reflect complex processes, business processes. As you understand, it generated additional tasks for developers as well, because our platform has needs has to be able to provide required data in time, directly on time. But they are rewarded because they can see the result of delivered code. It's this point. In fact, we continuously communicated what is the current status. And it was really mindset change. They was focused not on the delivery of the code, but on the impact to the business. They was really motivated, interested to know what is the number of new customers, what they are doing, what are the details. And we shared the changes with developer directly after the delivery. So we delivered functionality to production, and we started to measure the impact, not in months, not in not quarterly, but literally in a couple of days after the delivery. And this information was updated a few times a week. And we shared this information, shared our impact, success or failure, the boss, to our stakeholders, to the whole team. And business, you will be surprised how business stakeholders was ready to participate in the product success. So yes, we'll be back to this topic on the third level also. And additional bonus for the team, for the product, it was that this change helped the organization to understand UX role. UX, it's not UI. And sometimes, not sometimes, almost each time, every time, simple and easy customer journey is more important than a nice, very nice interface. Do you remember Google of 20 years ago? It was just white screen with one text field in the center and two buttons, search and I'm feeling lucky. That's all. It was absolutely empty. It was a success, as you can see now. Then, very important point in this stage. Okay, business impact, it's the key point for us, but don't forget about continuous improvement. I plan time for it. For example, 1 week per quarter, we dedicate to continuous improvement, to technical improvement, to refactoring, to this kind of activity. Or one dedicated person per scrum, per sprint is dedicated to this activity. So plan it, don't forget about technical topic. So globally, this measurement, OKRs, probably you heard about OKRs also. This topic is very interesting, and I'm persuaded that it's one of the key mind shift for the whole organization. Let's continue. Yes, let's continue. So a few few references. I can recommend you this book, Succeeding with OKRs in Agile from Alan Kelly. This blog is a great one. And I can recommend you this topic also. For me, it was really a mind shift to understand the no project movement. That in the current digital world, there is no more projects. It's more about product lifecycle. Okay, so we reviewed the second level of our team development. And in this level, we started to measure the business success of each developed functionality and adjust them if needed. Let's continue if no question for the moment.
No, Sergiy, you can go on.
So the next step in most cases comes absolutely naturally. As I mentioned, we are sharing a business impact with the business stakeholders. Consequently, they are welcome to provide their opinion and input. And now, on this step, we are structuring better this activity. I think you remember this quote. It's from one of the 12 Agile Manifesto principles. Often people apply it to a Scrum team only, but can we extend it to strategic planning for our product? Yes, our product owner shared his what we are put in place. Our product owner shared his responsibilities with a key business stakeholder, and his responsibility was more leadership than dictator. It was more about strategic prioritizations done on the democratic way, voting, open ballot system. Votes are open and commented. We invited a representative of key business stakeholder, business department, and business stakeholders. And
Sergiy, go ahead.
no problem. We shared with them what is the backlog, what we are planning for coming months, next period. We discuss it with them how we plan to measure the success, what will the business impact, and we estimated impact complexity of the work on T-short approach, small, medium, large. And we asked them to vote what will be the most important, what they think will be the most important next functionality. And so the key benefit of this change was extension that a business takes responsibility for this decision. And they become part of our team. We are working together with them. Imagine you are a representative of the logistic department. You, with your colleagues, are convinced that functionality X will significantly impact the business, and you convince other department that this function is very important. In this case, you will be really motivated to help the team to implement it on the best way. And you will do all your best to help the final user to master it well and quickly. So, as a result, the business is profoundly involved in the creation and promoting of the best product. So this is the target, to work together, not as business is one of the stakeholders. No, they are with us. So this is the idea behind this maturity level. Let's go deeper on this topic, how we can achieve it. What we've done, we introduced a new tool. It was a Kanban board, but now on the feature level, not a user story, but feature or epic level. The first critical point, this board must be simple and understandable for non-IT and non-agile people. What are the items? What is the flow behind? It should be really easy. Example of the board from our case. The second critical point, this tool should be a dynamic tool. It's a tool to reflect and discuss the reality and decisions. The status should be changed if the environment is changed or better understood. We can change the priority, we can add something new, it's not a problem. To do this periodically, we put in place synchronization, monthly synchronization. This synchronization was on with this board, and it was split on 3 steps. First part of this synchronization was the red one, this one. Was really planning what to be what will be done in the nearest future. For us, it was next 3 months, and we voted backlog next 3 months. So what is the most important? What do you want to have in the production? The orange part, it was update from product team to the business, what we are doing and what are the estimation when you can expect to have such and such functionality on the production. And the green one, it was really a part of the success for achievement of the top level digital product. It was business deployment. How is going business deployment? Figures reflecting the success. What is the increase of number of customers? What is the level of transactions? What are the real impact of each of these functionality? Sometimes we discovered that, sorry, it's not so efficient. And it was a discussion with the business. What we can do better? What do you expect? Sometimes it was just some additional filter, some additional buttons, or some small adjustment was very important to increase the impact to the business. Sometimes we discovered that no, unfortunately, this functionality is not interesting for customers. Okay, this is the reality. In this case, it was either decommission this functionality, or we keep it as is, and that's all. So this part is very important. How is going now, and did we achieve the level what we expected from this functionality? It was the final and the most important step to the status of the top level product from my experience. Thanks to implementation of these 3 steps, 3 levels of maturity, of team maturity, product maturity, we had chance to achieve the level of top product. Few reference, how we additional points. So as I said, Kanban board. Then very important part of this tool, it was education, business education. Explanation, what is iterative incremental approach? Why we cannot deliver everything at the same time? What is the estimation, small, medium, large? What is the measurable success criteria, etc., etc. At the same time, understanding and delivery functionalities provided us with the trust and partnership between IT team and business. At the same time, we discovered that different kind of activities require different approaches and different decision makers. It's from our experience, it's a real case. So we managed strategic features, deploy prioritization and implementation on this level by voting. Half of our backlog was managed on this kind. Quarter of backlog of our work was fully managed by the product owner. It was maintenance of the global product health. Then we invited final users and proposed them to create a wish list, Christmas list, and we implemented the same way. So voting, what are the minor improvements can be useful for you? And the final 10%, it was for our team for technical improvements, all kind of technical depths, refactoring, and innovation, etc. So we split our workforce and we respected this distribution of workforce on the monthly, quarterly level. As you see, such a management isn't easy, but it allowed us to maintain a healthy product without extreme technical, strategic, minor improvements, and global health of the global quality of the product. Unfortunately, for this level, I don't have many of references. I read several good books about portfolio management, and often it was either too complicated or too strict kind of safe skeleton agile framework. So until now, I have this presentation. You can find it in YouTube from Matthias Pacek. And it was the best explanation how they implemented such approach for Scout 24. Probably you know this application, Scout 24, for cars to buy new cars. So this is the reference, and globally it's the whole the process. So we're starting by an initial check, then we accelerating our team, increasing business impact, how are we hitting the goal, and the next level we are working on the real world. In other words, we was focused on, in the beginning, product team, then business value, and customer and environment by the end. And it's a huge mind shift for an organization. And it's easy. Sometimes we need an external coach to help the team to make this mind shift. And not all the organization can do it directly. And to implement such a mind shift, from my experience, we can implement different approach for different needs and budgets. If one of the cheapest approach, it's one-shot booster. Just a few workshops to identify a problem and and provide a kick to the team. Little bit bigger approach, it's a shadow coaching. It's more expensive globally for the organization. It's coaching, mentoring. It requires a few hours a week and increase the maturity of key actors, of a few key actors. Or if you want to do it very quickly, the next step is full-time participation. Scrum Master. It's increasing of the maturity of the entire organization. From my point of view, the best one is combination of these two kinds, because we need to increase the company maturity, and we need to really work with some team members to increase, to provide them experience about Scrum Master, Agile Coach, etc. So how is for timing? More or less okay?
We have just a few minutes for some questions. Actually, I have a question while waiting the others. In the Epic Kanban board, in the leftmost stages, this one, at a certain moment, you said that we move from the backlog to the next 3-month columns, the most important epics. How you can understand among a backlog of, I don't know, maybe 20 epics, because they are all the epics that you want to develop in 1 year, what are the most important? Is there some rules, some algorithm, some tool?
For us, it was in advanced preparation. So as I mentioned, we invited business representative. And in advance, we shared with them this list of all the epics, what is the expected benefits, and what is the estimation. So they prepared themselves in advance in what is the most important. It was, and then during this meeting, it was direct voting. Please select top 3 functionalities. And VIP limit, a work in progress limit. For us, it was something like 4 or 5 features for next 3 months.
Okay, thank you. Clear. Any more questions?
I do have a question.
Please.
In fact, it's 2 questions. The first one is related to the timeline. So first of all, thank you, Sergey, for this presentation. It was great.
My pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you to join us.
So, I had actually a conversation for one of our product teams with a vice president, and his concern was that he understood, of course, how we work in agile mode, but his concern was that we did not have a good way to map the priorities the teams are working on with deadlines that have to be met with specific product functionalities. For instance, certain functionalities have to be there that day. So how do we work with that expectation?
It's a classical question. Yes, for most of the teams, for most of organizations. From my experience, in the beginning of our journey, just in the beginning, it's a very classical approach. It's a triangle, iron triangle. What are the deadlines? And then explaining to the team what is very important. It's to split what do you need and how you will implement it. It's classical things. What is the business and how to implement it? What is the business need? So we shared with the team what is the deadline and what can you do by this date. It's on the first step. Then in the beginning, we are starting to implement agile things. So we have no choice. We have to deliver something. And then it was negotiation. What is feasible, what is not feasible. But with the time, when we have, where is it, Kanban board? Yes. When we have some experience after half year, at least half year of such work, it was time, cycle time measure. We measured cycle time, and statistically, we was able to say that one functionality takes about from 1 to 2, from 1.5 to 2.5 months between starting of preparation and technical deployment. So we already know what is feasible, what is not feasible. If they ask us to deliver something for the next month, sorry guys, it's almost impossible. Otherwise, you have to put on hold all current activity. There is no magic, unfortunately. And mainly it's a negotiation between team and business.
Okay.
What is the real need?
Okay, thank you. My second question is related to budget cycles. So, I mean, this is how it works in my company. We are still in a waterfall environment. Basically, the budgets are discussed once per year for the group. And of course, in order to get the budget requested, the teams have to come up with some sort of roadmaps of what they think will be worked on during the year. And then based on that, they get the budget they request. So how does this work with an agile context here, with this type of delivery model? Are we still able to work within this type of budget cycles, or do we need to look for a new budget approach?
The reality is that we cannot change the budget. It's not easy to change the budget cycle for the whole team, for the whole organization. That's why our agile team have to adapt their work to the reality of organization. For me, from my experience, budget cycle was relatively easy. We have a fixed team, more or less fixed for the whole year. So budget was fixed. And then it's a cost of the team for 12 months. But what was more complicated after that, it's to see what the team can deliver during this year. And this, it was more or less the same. Where is my second screen? Yes, here. It was more or less the same work for the team. So we took a business representative. We invited business. We invited our delivery team. We put them in the same room for a couple of days, and they discussed what is planned for the next year, what organization expect from this product for next 12 months. And we asked them to estimate what is small, medium, large. It's as usual in Agile, it's a relative estimation, not in days, not in months, but in small, medium, large. And then we have some small tools how we can switch from small, medium, large, from relative to the yearly, to the real time frame. It was some kind, we estimated everything small, medium, large, and we asked them to estimate is this small feature, it's question of 1 sprint, 2 sprint, or it's question of months or 2 months. With such mapping, it's not very classical in Agile. Probably it's not so good, but it's the reality. We mapped the level that during the year we can do more or less, and we had a list of features that can be entered in the year. So it was a big workshop between IT and business, estimation of what can be done, and high level, very high level estimation. And then it was negotiation. So you need this functionality. So we had, if we're adding something, we have reduced something on another side.
Thank you very much. This was very helpful.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you for your question, Mustafa. Thank you. Any other question? I think that someone is leaving. Okay.
We have Diana.
Yeah, actually, I have a question. Thanks for the presentation. And my question is, you talked about that data analyst. How did you come up with that one? Actually, how is he connected with the PO, the Scrum Master? What kind of more data he is providing? Is he like the special product guy, or I need some, or I would like to have some more information about that one.
Data analyst, it's a very interesting job, a very interesting role, because it's really somebody between business, IT guys, and UX, also user experience expert. And it's special mindset. And for him, it's somebody who is who listen from the business what is important. It's number of transaction, number of users, and what is the figure. Then this person discussed, it was a global, it was discussed with the development team, how we can provide these figures, different figures, how we can find them. And then this girl looked on these all figures and just provide a chart, some tables, how was evaluation of this KPI, this parameter. In a few words, so it was a mission role between product owner or business analyst, dev team, and UX. So we was connected to all these guys. And in the beginning, it's not easy. It takes time to be able to start to provide the information. In our case, it was only after 2-3 months that we really started to provide useful information.
Okay. And you have him in every team, or is he like a shared service, or like an overarching role, or something like that?
It was in the team. For us, it was part of the team. It was she was really all the days. After the delivery, she shared, after delivery of functionality, it was almost every day or every stand-up. She shared, yes, we had 3 additional customers. They have 20 additional transactions yesterday. So it was part of the team. It was really part of the team.
Okay, thank you. And I have a second question, actually. You said like your last slide about the one-shot approach. So
yes.
which workshops you think are most appropriate to really get the most out of it? The booster, the booster, exactly.
One-shot booster, it's really to boost, to provide with a kick. There is a few works. First of all, why we want to boost our product? What is the expectation, organization's expectation for this product? For me, it's the first problem, first question to be addressed, because I have seen several times that interpretation what is important for this product between developer, tester, business analyst, business was absolutely different. So first of all, it's what is the most important in our product. The second part is kind of retrospective for the organization, for the team. What is going well, what is not going, why we are, it's retrospective. So first workshop is really, it's more about lean change.
Like the static in Kanban? Like the static approach from the Kanban?
No, why we want, what is important, it's more about lean change management, change Kanban. What is important in our product? It was really the first one. And the second retro, it was around this Kanban board, yes, about workflow, how is going our user story, starting from need identification until product activation, product maintenance. For me, it's two key points.
Okay.
It's okay.
And yeah, actually, I have a third question. Do you really do, or do you do in addition the arc and bow experience with the guys, or is it just a metaphor?
Oh, in this case, it's a metaphor because I really like it's to hit the target. Question of hit the target, and then my son he likes very much archery.
Okay. Okay. So maybe one day you have that real workshops with this.
Feel free to join me by LinkedIn. We can start discussion. Sometimes I share on LinkedIn some ideas about this, some tools. I really like this discussion about all these tools. It's very useful for this exchange is very useful for us.
Yeah, true. Okay, thank you. I'm done with the questions so far. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana, for your question. Any more question? Well, okay. I think that there are a couple of comments in the chat, Sergey, about the references that you shared. So people, as you know, are waiting when you will send the PDF of your decks or your slides. So they can find all the references there. And
can I ask you guys, everybody, just to provide me with a really fast feedback? I'll share my screen one moment and share the link up. I shared it by chat, and I'll share my screen up. If you can join this questionnaire and up. Provide me with your feedback. How can I do better such kind of presentation? It will be open even after this meetup, so during half hour. If you can share your ideas, because I'd like to share this approach with others in conferences, with other guys, and your feedback will be very helpful for me. And yes, we'll share the deck directly tomorrow. I will send to you. You are mute, Corrado. Corrado, you are mute. Corrado.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on mute. Yes, send me the deck and I will share through a link on my Dropbox into the meetup page. So everyone can access that. Great. I think that this was a good event. Thank you, Sergey, for sharing. Thank you, everyone, for making this so interactive with your questions. Thank you for the answers that you provide to Sergey and to myself for our agile mindset configuration. So we try to figure out what an agile mindset means. And I hope to see you in our next event, one of our next events. Again, as a reminder, 9th of December will be our next session. Okay? Have a great evening and thank you again for joining our event. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Sergiy. Bye.
Thank you. Feel free to join me in